The cornerstone of community policing is trust. We have to have the trust of our community that we're policing. A big investigation, a more complex investigation, is the officer-involved shooting investigation. What we want to do is educate you on that entire process. The whole point of this presentation is to give you an understanding of the process, and hopefully a byproduct will be your trust of that process.
Once an officer-involved shooting occurs, members of the media are proactively informed by the department's public affairs office to stage for a press conference at the scene where preliminary information will be released by the chief of police or one of the members of the executive staff. The community is directly informed of the preliminary circumstances from the public affairs office through social media. Traditionally, within 24 hours, the department will release updates involving the incident, identify the officers involved in the shooting to ensure proper context involving the incident. When an officer is involved in any shooting, the investigative process and reviews are conducted by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department and outside agencies, in addition to civilians. Here's a look at how the process develops. Immediately following an officer-involved shooting, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's Homicide Unit's Officer-Involved Shooting Team, or OIST, responds to the scene to conduct a criminal investigation. The OIST will assume overall responsibility for conducting the criminal investigation. That investigation may consist of, but is not limited to, interviewing witnesses, reviewing video and audio recordings of body-worn cameras, gathering information, and reviewing evidence. They will work closely with crime scene investigators, members of the crime lab, and other appropriate personnel to ensure a thorough criminal investigation. Members of the OIST are professional investigators who specialize in officer-involved shooting cases. They leverage their years of experience in addition to cutting-edge technology and methods that allow them to conduct a meticulous investigation. The State Medical Examiner's Office leads the investigation of the deceased person and conducts an autopsy. The Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office conducts an independent review and analysis of the ME's reports and criminal case file to determine if further investigation is needed or whether criminal charges filed against the officer may be appropriate. If the District Attorney's Office concludes that felony charges may be required, the case is presented to a grand jury to consider indictment. In addition to the criminal investigation, an administrative investigation is launched by the CMPD's Internal Affairs Bureau to determine whether the officer violated any department policies. Both the administrative and criminal investigations are conducted simultaneously. During the course of these parallel investigations, the officer involved in the shooting is placed on administrative leave. Paid administrative leave usually lasts 3 to 5 days. During this leave, the officer is removed from line duties, but will remain available for administrative callback needs. At the discretion of the Chief of Police, the officer is returned to work on paid administrative assignment in their assigned division while the internal and criminal investigations are conducted. While on administrative assignment, the officer is prohibited from exercising police authority in both an on-duty and off-duty capacity. The officer will remain on administrative assignment until the conclusion of the criminal and administrative investigations. During this process, the officer is afforded all administrative rights as any other employee of the department and all constitutional laws as any other citizen during the criminal investigation. The Internal Affairs Sergeant assigned to the case will get a copy of the criminal investigation to assist in the internal investigation. The Homicide Unit will forward the completed criminal investigation packet to the District Attorney's Office for review of criminal charges. Once the District Attorney's Office has reviewed the case, the office will make a decision on whether to charge the officer with a crime or clear the officer of any criminal charges by determining the shooting was justified. An independent chain of command shooting board hearing will be scheduled following the decision made by the District Attorney's Office. The shooting board consists of high-ranking members of the CMPD and the City of Charlotte Community Relations Committee, which is made up of civilians. The board will critically evaluate the officer's actions to ensure CMPD policies and procedures have not been violated. If the board finds that the officer acted in accordance with CMPD policies and procedures, the officer will be removed from administrative assignment and returned to full duty status. Once the case is completed and all processes are complete, the case is subject to review by the Citizens Review Board. The Citizens Review Board serves as an advisory board of the Chief of Police, City Manager, and City Council. The board reviews appeals by citizens who file complaints on dispositions imposed by the Chief of Police or his designee related to allegations of misconduct against a sworn police officer. The board may review the disposition of any discharge of a firearm by an officer which results in the death or injury of a person. The request for review may be made by the person injured or the next of kin in the event of death. In the event the officer is cited for suspension, demotion, or termination, or if the officer chooses to appeal their discipline, their case is then heard before the Civil Service Board. While the collective investigations and reviews may take months to complete, those multiple layers of investigations and review are necessary in the pursuit of justice, to ensure transparency, and to ensure the investigation is thorough, factual, and accountable.